no hope. The ground is forever cursed. If the physical world became blemished, therefore in the future the physical world will have to be destroyed. Originally, God created the physical universe and He put Adam in there, and Adam was supposed to live forever within the physical world. Now, not anymore. It received the curse. And now we see Ham received the curse. And we'll see what happens with Ham later throughout history. So we have to be careful not to receive a curse, God forbid. Later in the Torah, there are some transgressions, some avirot that also carry a curse. Like later when the Jewish people will come to the Mount Eival and Mount Gerizim, it says that they will have to pronounce a curse on anyone who transgresses certain laws in the Torah. And therefore it's also very severe to keep in mind that Adam and Chava sinned, but they were not cursed. There was a consequence given to them. Yaakov was upset at his children, but he didn't curse them. He cursed their anger, something to work on. Whereas we have a few instances in the Torah where someone actually got cursed. And here it's Ham. And we look at, as bad as we feel for some people, and no one is beyond hope, even though a curse was received, but individuals from that race, they can still work on themselves. Like Abraham had a servant, a slave. His name was Eliezer. And Eliezer was from Ham, from Canaan. He came from a cursed nation. However, he worked on himself. He subdued his evil inclination. He became the servant of Abraham, a righteous servant of Abraham, a devoted and responsible servant of Abraham. And he learned everything he could from Abraham. So much so that he became himself a righteous man. And he became so great that he went to Gan Eden alive. Which means that even if someone is descendant of Ham, not everything is lost. An individual always has hope and an opportunity to improve. It's only as a whole nation they cannot. Now, what we learn from this Parsha is that evil comes from people not working on their character. When people, instead of looking up and saying, how can I become more godlike and divine and emulate God, they look down and say, what can I do like an animal? Let me eat more, let me mate more, and let me kill more. Then they bring evil into the world. And the lesson for us is that Hashem created the world perfect, and it's in our hands to keep it that way, and it's in our hands to keep ourselves or make ourselves perfect. I heard a wonderful point, I don't remember from whom, but he said that according to most commentators, Cain and Hevel were born in Gan Eden on Friday. So, okay, we know that. So what? We know that Hashem created the world in 6 days. And he worked until the last moment of Friday. So much so that to an outside observer, it would look like Hashem worked on Shabbat also. So the Torah tells us no. He worked until Shabbat came. Exactly at that moment he stopped. To a human being who doesn't have precise instruments to know exactly the switch between one day and another, it seems like Hashem bumped into Shabbat working. But really, he didn't. So, what's so special about it? It means that Friday was a day of creation until the very end of Friday. And that means that part of creation was the birth of Cain and Hevel. That means when Adam and Chava undertook the job of creating children, they were participating in the creation of the world. And that means part of God's plan for the creation of the world was that people should also participate in God's plan of creating the world. It's not like we come and everything is ready and we just use it. No. When we are born, Hashem says, I left part of the creation unfinished for you. Every human being, when they are born, has to realize that I am born into an unfinished world. I have to fix the environment around me. I have to fix my family, my home, and I have to fix myself. First and foremost, I have to fix my character. And I will be participating together with God in creation. So, something that we need to remember every day. What will I do today to make myself better? How will I work on my character? And it would be a good idea to write down all the character traits that operate within a human being. Because if you ask an unlearned, unthinking person, are you good? He'll say, of course I'm good. And how do they define good? I don't kill and I don't steal. Stealing is questionable. Killing sometimes is also questionable. Our sages say, for example, if you embarrass someone, it's like killing him. If you cause financial damage to someone, it's like killing, because a poor person is considered dead. And as well as other forms of killing, like if you waste someone's time, you took away part of their life. If you cause someone to work more and harder, whereas you could have helped them and made them finish the same job faster, or by doing damage, now they have to fix and they spend their life. That's a part of killing, by giving bad advice. So there are many forms of killing, when not even mentioning abortion or euthanasia. So it's not so simple for a person to say, I'm good because I don't kill and I don't steal. I would say, just say, most people steal. And according to our explanations, most people kill as well. But that's just two things. But how many other things that such a person is not even aware of? So we have to open books and copy all the character traits that operate within a human being, so that we can at least pay attention to them. Be aware that, yes, I have to work on my patience. I have to work on my kindness. I have to work on my temper, on my anger, jealousy. There are many more than what I mentioned. And each one requires years to work on. As the famous quotation from the I think it was from Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, one of the students of the Vilna Gaon. He said, it's easier to learn the entire Talmud. It may have been a different person. I'm not sure the quotation is right, but the statement is true. It's easier to learn the entire Talmud, which takes 7.5 years if you do it superficially, and if you do it in depth, it takes a lifetime. It's easier to learn the entire Talmud in depth than to change one character trait, both in the time that it takes and in the mental and emotional effort that you have to put in to change your character, to improve your character. And we see that's what the world depends on. Life on earth depends on how we change our character. As we speak, people are hurting each other. People are killing each other. People are shooting and throwing rockets at others. Why? Because of wickedness of their character. If they had a better character, they would figure out how to achieve the same purpose with better means, more peaceful means. It's only because of gava, of arrogance, because of jealousy, because of physical desires, because of anger, because of greediness. That is why all the wars happen. That is why we have crime. Even a religious war, a jihad that the Muslims are waging against the entire world, is a consequence of their imperfections of character, of their blemishes in their character. If they would be righteous and they would think every step they make to be gentle, to be patient, to be good, they would find a way, like we, the Jewish people, find a way to be a light to the world, to educate people, to be patient with them and say, come, I'll teach you about one God, indivisible. I will teach you how to serve Him. Instead, they come and they say, I want to show you who is the boss. Listen to me or I'll kill you. They're not serving God. They're serving themselves. They're serving their arrogance. They're serving their anger. They're serving their lust and greed. And at the end of the world, we'll see. That's what our sages say. The three major religions are going to come, and they're going to do a battle. They're going to say, let's see who is the true messenger of God in this world. And we expect to be victorious. Why? And that is for two reasons. Because God chose us, and because we, the Jewish people, from Abraham until today, are working on our character. We are working on ourselves to be better. So much so that we believe that I am my character. Not my mind. The mind is flying around. It's easy to change. One moment you think like this, you learn more, you think differently. The character is what I really am. And the character controls the mind. If you are kind, you will have kind thoughts. If you are patient, you're going to have a different mindset than an angry person, an arrogant person, impatient person. So what controls my decisions? My character. So when I work on my character, I'm actually improving myself. Not on this planet, but I'm improving myself forever and ever. What's going to remain after me is not only my thoughts and what I learned, but my character is going to stay with me. So we better get to it, and we better take it seriously and start working on ourselves, our character, our essence, which will stay with us forever. That's an investment. The best investment is the investment into yourself. Like it says at the beginning of this Parsha, these are the children of Noach. Noach. Who is the offspring of Noach? Noach himself. Which means the child, the offspring, the product of Noach. What did Noach produce in his lifetime? Not only he saved the entire humanity, not only he had 3 sons and many grandsons, thousands of descendants, millions and billions by now, but Noach, number 1, produced himself. And that's what we have to do. As the Midrash says, that we don't have to worry about our children. Because if they are righteous, God will take care of them. And if they are wicked, then why should I worry about them? This is a very easy solution for someone who worries a lot about his children. How will they finish college? Who will pay for it? How will they buy a house? Can I afford to have another child? Don't worry about it. That's not your concern. You just make sure they go on the right path, and if they're righteous, God will take care of them. So what should I worry about? I should worry about myself. I have to concentrate on myself, not worry about my children and therefore dedicate my life for them. No, that's called killing yourself for someone who doesn't need it. They can take care of themselves. So we as parents, current or future parents, we have to invest in ourselves so that the future generations will say, he was a righteous man. Not because he had good children, but because he himself was good. It's important to have good children, but if you are good, it's almost guaranteed that your children are going to be good. Why? Because you'll treat them properly. You will be gentle with them, respectful towards them. You will be a good example for them. You will be a role model, and they will respect you and follow in your footsteps. So by becoming a better human being, we are saving the world, and we are earning for ourselves not only a good name in this world, but we are earning for ourselves eternity, because God gave us the soul and the body, but in an unfinished state. And we have to work on ourselves. And by working on our character, we are actually improving our soul. Our spiritual essence is becoming better. So the whole flood was like erasing the page that many mistakes were made on it. You erase it and you write fresh. God erased from the earth people, animals, birds, plants, and insects. Only the select few were saved in the ark, and afterwards they repopulated the world. The world we look now is almost the same. Like the beginning of the Parsha says, Ki mal'a ha'aretz hamas. The whole world is filled with corruption, robbery, evil. And that's the world we are living in now. So many societies try to improve the world, and they were not successful. And the answer is simple: because they try to improve the world. When you work on the outside, but the core is rotten, everything will crumble. It's only the Jewish people. We are working on our essence. From the young age, we teach our children about good character traits. Not about how to win a national scholastic championship to get the highest score on a math regent or SAT. Those things are good, but they're secondary. They are external. What we teach our children is, what do you do if your animal gored another animal? Don't run away. You have to pay. What if you find a lost object? Don't pocket it and don't just ignore it. You have to look for the owner who lost it. From young age, we teach our children how to be a good human being. And that is why we are eternal. So, going towards the end of this Parsha, we mentioned the three different natures of Shem, Ham, and Yefet. And what ended up with them was that Shem became the progenitor of the spiritual culture of humanity. Yefet became the progenitor of arts and sciences. And Ham became the progenitor of other nations that are more into physicality. And the three religions that are monotheistic came from Shem. Semites. The Jewish people are Semites. The Ishmaelites, the Muslims, are Semites. And the Christians are Semites, because they all came from Shem, as we explained. Shem means focusing on the essence of something. And all these people were drawn towards godliness, What is it all about? Why are we alive? And they were led, inspired to recognize one God. And really, these three religions are supposed to work together to achieve the end. But unfortunately, from their birth, from the birth of Christianity, it became a adversary to the Jewish people, and from the birth of Islam, it became an adversary to the Jewish people. And instead of working hand in hand, making the world a better place, helping each individual to find their essence and come close to God, they're fighting against each other as they do right now as we speak. May we see the end of this fight, and our sages say that there will come an end to this fight. May Mashiach come. May the final realization of God and actualization of our own potential come about quickly in our days. May the whole world unite in the service of God, as we say in our prayers on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And may we witness peace and happiness in the world. Bezat Hashem. Thank you for joining. Chodesh Tov, Shana Tova, Shabbat Shalom. May there be peace for the Jewish people and peace in the world. Thank you. Have a good night.